Being a 911 operator is not exactly the easiest job out there. The hours are long, the pay is mediocre, and you get to experience a lot of grim stuff. For example, people calling with relatives dying in front of them, car crashes, and domestic abuse is a regular thing. In spite of all this, I enjoy working as one. I got to talk to a lot of people, and we formed a tight bond at my workplace. So, I stayed for almost 20 years, from my early 20s to my early 40s, before switching careers. I've received countless calls over the years, but there's one that sticks to me to this day, and that gives me chills just talking about it. So here's my story. I had just started my shift that would go from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. The office was pretty deserted at that point, with only a couple other operators. I logged in and started doing my thing. The first hour was pretty standard, nothing really major happening. But then, at around 7 p.m., a call comes in. I answered the phone. 911, what's your emergency? No answer. I wait a couple seconds before I speak up. Hello? You've reached 911. How may I assist you? Yes? Hi. A voice appeared on the other line. It was a man, but he spoke very softly, almost whispering. Could you send someone out here? Please? Sir, can you please speak a little bit louder for me? Yeah, of course, sorry. I need some assistance out here as soon as you can. I got his address. He had raised his voice, but it was still pretty quiet. He was calm, but I could tell his breathing was uneven. I realized that he was probably whispering as did not want to be heard by someone or something. Sir, what do you need assistance with? I need to know so I can send the proper help. Well, there's a man in my living room. A man? What is he doing? Nothing. He's just standing there, completely still. Has he said anything? No, not a single word. I didn't even see him through the window when I came home. Sir, what does he look like? He's tall, slim-built, almost too slim. He has a gray suit on with black shoes and light skin. What does his face look like? I don't know. He had his back turned against me. Could you just please send some help? I now realized just how scared this man was. He was trying to stay calm, but I could tell that he was trembling with fear. Assistance is on the way. It'll take about 20 minutes, so stay on the phone with me and I'll help you. Okay? Oh, okay. When did you first notice him? 10 minutes ago, maybe. I came home from work, but I didn't see anything through the window, as I said. Then when I walked in the living room, he was right there. He didn't react or anything. So, where are you now? I'm in the hallway, in a chair. If I lean slightly forward, I can see into the living room, and I can see him. I could feel a chill creep up my spine. This was very odd. If it had been a burglar, he would have done something by now. Alright, I'm going to need you to do something, okay? Can you please walk into the living room and try to get a good look at his face, or see if you can get a response out of him in any way? Okay. Wait a minute. He put the phone down. Now to note, this took place in the late 80s, so cell phones weren't a thing. Every house had something called a landline. I could hear some movement, and then I heard his voice again. I tried to, but I couldn't see his face. It's hard to explain. Please hurry up. Hang on. My wife just got home and I need to explain the situation to her.
I could hear hushed voices talking, and then I heard his wife starting to cry. Even I was scared now. This whole situation just felt strange. And after a while, he finally got back on the phone.
Okay, we're both in the hallway now. She's also seen him, and she knows what the situation is. Where are the goddamn police? They're on their way. I promise. Could I please talk to your wife?
I heard some rustling, and then a female voice. She spoke in a hushed, quiet voice while trying to suppress her crying.
Hello? Hi, ma'am. I was wondering, could you please describe the man in your living room? Yeah, he was very tall and slim. Gray suit and black shoes. He was wearing shoes and getting them on our new carpet.
Now, when people are in a state of panic or shock, they will often say stuff that appears to be very mundane and disconnected from the situation. It's a coping mechanism.
I was at the gym, so I got home later than usual. When I parked in our driveway, I noticed that this lamp was on in the living room. I thought it was weird because that's the desk where I draw, and it's only on when I'm drawing. But I didn't see anyone in the living room. Okay, the man in the living room. Has he not said anything? No, not a sound or movement. All he's done is get stains on my new carpet. No, please. Send someone fast.
She started crying again. I could see on my monitor that the police were only a couple minutes away, and then the husband picked up the phone.
Yes, hi. It's me again. Are the police close? Yes, only a couple minutes now. I'm going to need one of you to go outside and meet the police so they can assist you. No. We can't. We're too afraid, and I can't leave my wife alone.
As I stated earlier, this call was through a landline, so they couldn't just go outside and stay on call.
I think we'll manage for a couple of minutes before the... Wait, what?
Suddenly, he became silent. I tried to get his attention, but neither him or his wife made a noise. I heard some rustling, followed by footsteps. Heavy footsteps. Like the kind that only boots can make when walking indoors. I then heard the most chilling roar I've ever heard. It sounded inhuman, very deep, and incredibly strong. I jolted from my chair with every hair on my body standing up straight. Then, complete silence.
Hello? Ma'am? Sir? Are you there? Hello? Anyone? Hello?
The person on the other end hung up the phone. I tried calling back, but no answer. But then I saw something that still confuses me. My monitor made no indication that any patrols had been sent out to that address. I tried for an hour calling both the house and the number. I got to the patrol car I had dispatched, but nothing. I had to continue working and taking calls, but that incident was on my mind for the entire night. When I got off, I immediately drove to a friend of mine who works at a local police station. I had asked him about this, but he had no memory of any police cars being dispatched to that address that night. I was completely dumbfounded. Had I been dreaming? Was I hallucinating? I was sure that I had talked to that couple, and I also remember that inhuman roar. I drove home, and I tried to get some sleep, which I managed to do, only after a number of glasses of wine. A few days later, I had a day off. I decided to get to the bottom of this and soothe my mind. The address was written down in my notebook, and I drove to the address. By coincidence, I arrived around the same time that the call had been made. It was a nice area, full of expensive houses and new cars and driveways, and perfectly trimmed lawns. The house on the address didn't really stand out. It had a light yellow color with a garden filled with different kinds of flowers. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. It was quiet and the air was warm. But then, I noticed something. In the window, there was a light. It was a desk light, shining bright. As I was staring at this, not sure what my next move would be, a car pulled into the driveway. It was a new BMW that parked. Of the car came a woman looking the part of an expensive car owner. I could smell the perfume from the curb I was standing on. The weird thing was, she didn't seem to notice me at all. I was, after all, a stranger standing in front of your house. Most people would at least react to a stranger standing right in front of your house looking into it. She started walking towards the house, but stopped a few steps in. I could see the confusion in her eyes. And then she spoke.
That's weird. Why is my desk light on?
I recognized that voice straight away. It was the wife. I froze in place, unsure of what exactly to do. The hairs on my arms stood straight up. The woman walked to the front door, opened it, and went inside. I stood in front of that house for maybe 10 minutes or so, just staring intensely at the window with the desk light. Nothing. At last, I finally jumped into my car and drove away. I couldn't shake this feeling of complete and utter fear. I never heard anything about that house or anything similar to it. I later moved away, and I've never returned. It just makes me feel weird being there. It's been over 30 years, but I still remember it clear as day. The trembling voice of the husband, the wife crying, and that ungodly, inhuman roar.
Hey everyone! Oh, it's Sugarcane here. And I just wanted to thank my artists, my editor, the musician, and the author for composing this story and making my channel possible. If you enjoy content like this, go ahead and subscribe. I upload every Wednesday and Saturday. Not to mention, you can also follow me on Twitter at CreepySugarBoy. And if you have a story that's either fictional or true, go ahead and send it my way. It might appear here on the channel. You can send your stories to CreepyCoatedSugarCane at gmail.com, all lowercase and all together. And on that note, try not to develop a sugar crush. It may be deadly.